All of that feeds into being an incredible advertisement and marketing opportunity for your business.
All right, Amelia, so this one's for you, and I think it's a good one because a lot of builders probably are a little bit hesitant or don't understand how they can market their business in, I guess, this day and age with things like social media and especially getting things on their website. But like we've learnt in our building business that they're incredibly powerful tools, and you can actually do far more than just marketing through social media and websites.
It's so true, and I think builders really underestimate how long homeowners are thinking about their projects before they pick up the phone to first contact you as a builder and ask if you're available or what you'd be like to work with. Homeowners are stalking, sussing out, watching carefully how all sorts of professionals are performing. They're speaking to their friends, to their neighbours, and your social media platform and your website are incredibly freely available opportunities for you to be presenting yourself and your business so that those homeowners who are looking for a builder like you can watch, they can get to know you, they can see if you're a good fit, they can get a sense of how you do business and how you work, and then be really informed and already have built a trusting relationship with you where they feel that they know, like, and trust you before they actually get in touch. And this is the thing, like all of that social media is just about building up that know, like, trust factor so that you just reduce the number of questions and hurdles you have to overcome when you then have that first conversation with a potential client, where generally a builder would feel like they're always having to convince them or sell themselves or that kind of stuff. The social media and your website can just reduce and eliminate so much of that if you use it effectively.
And if you're putting the right information out there, you can actually reduce so much conversation or wasted time with people on the phone, sending emails, because you can answer so many questions that you get asked all the time through what you put out there. So, I really believe social media for a business is a new word of mouth. Like in the old days, it was always like you gave a business card to someone, or there was someone going for a walk past your job site, or like a friend told a friend or a family member, whatever it may be. Whereas now that can still be happening, but even if that does happen, 9 times out of 10, the first thing those people are going to do is see if you got an Instagram or a Facebook site, a website, and like you said, like they will literally stalk you for who knows? Like they might even start following you, and at that point in time not be considering building or renovating at all, but they end up building a relationship with you, and then all of a sudden like something changes in their life, their family, and they're like, oh, we've been checking this guy out, we've seen what he does. Like it really allows you, like I know for myself as a builder, it allows me to highlight things in my business that I'm passionate about. Like my big things, like it's all the things you don't see that make a difference. So we can get that out there on videos, and most of the clients that come to us, that's the type of builder, the quality, my personality and stuff that they're after. So it's a pretty powerful tool.
Most definitely. And Google's done research just on standard purchasing decisions to show that it takes between 7 and 11 touch points for somebody to make a purchasing decision about something. When it comes to investing in your home, it's a significantly longer relationship, a much bigger investment that somebody knows that they're stepping into. And so it makes sense that they might be watching you for 2 or more years before they do actually decide that they're going to commit to this, because they're not just committing to you, they're committing to a huge amount of time, energy, effort. It's a big step for them in terms of what it might do to disrupt their life for a while, all of those kinds of things. So homeowners do watch and look for a long time. And I think that if you can utilise those social media platforms, like you say, to really show how you position your business. For you, it's all the things that you don't see that make the difference. You can do those things of sharing your project journeys. You can show stage by stage what it's like to build a home. You can educate a homeowner so that you can reduce a lot of those questions that are going to come up. They can then start to see and compare how you're building a home to other builders that they might be seeing. They can start to be, seeing if you're highlighting, look, this is what we do. I know that there's a video that you have of what you do to weather boards before, in order to prep them for painting. Yep. So they can then look at that, and then they can know, well, okay, that actually makes sense. If I'm speaking to another builder or I'm watching another builder, are they taking the same care? Oh, they're not? Okay, well then that immediately pegs DP's Construction's above this other builder. And they're going to be making thousands and thousands of assessments like that over that 2-year period sometimes of really making that discernment between who is the right builder for them versus who's the builder that is not the right fit, isn't doing the same quality work and isn't positioning themselves as an authority who really cares about how we're going to build our home.
Because you're going to get a lot of like everyone's different, and social media has really brought that to my attention, and through the videos we do on social media, because there's going to be clients out there that the only thing that they might be worried about in their entire build might be a tile set out, or the way that you finish your painting, or the weatherboards, or how clean you keep your site. So social media really allows you to do videos on the particular things that you do in your business. Like we video everything, and that's like I'm just so passionate about every part of the building, the design stage, the building stage, the handover stage, all those things, and everything in between. But yeah, like you can get a client that will be looking at you, and they've just seen that one thing that had been that light bulb moment. They're like, righto, that's our builder. Like that is something that I never would have thought of. Like I can't believe he's doing that. Let's go and talk to them.
Yeah, and often it is that thing that it's not even occurred to them, but they've lived with the poor outcome in their current house, or they've seen a friend be frustrated by the poor outcome of that not being done well. And all of a sudden you've shed a light on the fact that, oh, actually that can be done differently if the builder's doing the right thing at the construction process. And because you're giving them a behind the scenes, it doesn't have to be polished. The more real it is, the better it is, that you actually show them how you could step them through the process of building a home. I find too, it's important that you do get clearance from the clients that you're working with, that you're allowed to share their projects on social media. One of the things that we teach our members is to ensure that you get that before you sign a contract with a client, so that you have permission to share their project publicly on social media. But I find lots of clients like watching their own projects be shared on social media because they're not able to be on site, all the time. They come for the weekly site meeting, but they, their life gets in the way. They might not be able to attend every week. And for them to also see all of the little things that are going into their home to ultimately create the outcome they're going to be living in, that can be really exciting. They can be sharing it with their friends and family, tagging others in. It's a big undertaking. There's a lot of personal and emotional stuff attached to it. So for a homeowner to be able to see that about their own project, and then your potential clients are seeing one existing client of yours getting excited about their home and the great relationship they're having with you, all of that feeds into being an incredible advertisement and marketing opportunity for your business and positioning you as a great builder.
And these days, we're seeing it a lot. Like a lot of our clients are actually setting up a page for their project. So they
like an Instagram account for their own project or something like
Facebook,
that.
Instagram, and being able to tag them and share things, and that can really excite clients because it becomes like their little documentary of their build. Like they can always go back to that page and flick through it and see different parts, and like you said, show their friends and stuff. So look, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, jump on video. Like Amelia said, it definitely doesn't have to be polished. For me, the real deal means more. You're showing people the true you, your personality, your passion, and you're going to attract like-minded clients.